got some usual suspects that's going to be helping it out, and mainly it's you. So give us a call at area code 330-937-2632. And number again is 330-937-2632. We ran into a couple of technical difficulties last week, but it's good because we ain't even promoting it all like that. so that's right. I got my right-hand man, my supporter, my plan. We do Wake Up Wednesdays every week. The professional, Denny Wilson. What's going on, Black man?
What's happening, Black? How you feeling, man?
Oh, man. You thought it was going to be a wash today, huh?
Oh, I thought, you know what? I went ahead and got started on another project, man. I was like, okay, I'm going to let this brother sleep in, whatever you're doing. You know what? I know you wasn't off work.
You already know that's right. So we're going to talk about this real quick, man. We're going to put together some information. That's some information. Me and you are going back and forth a little bit on the Roe versus Wade thing. It would be terrible if I didn't have the professional in the building to talk about this thing. So you go ahead and talk about it a little bit, and let's just try to shoot back and forth so we can educate some people.
You know, in all fairness and transparency, from a professional standpoint, I'm not too versed in the actual case itself. I mean, from a layman's perspective, we can have a conversation. I'm more than willing to share, you know, with the listeners where I come from. On the outside looking in, as a Black male, as a male, period, you know, political when I need to be, and definitely there for those who have the same wavelength as I do.
Well, let's go. Let's go for it. So I've been watching quite a few things, you know, the guy be studying and everything. And I like to have enough information, at least to get on your level, even it's the layman's term. Your level is way supersedes the Black man's over here. So, but I feel comfortable talking about it with you because you ain't going to let me get off too far in my own personal. Okay. But with this saying that, let's go with it, man. Roe versus Wade is essentially the right to abort a baby, or the right to, or them not giving you that right. I understand back in the day, it was illegal, but then the case came down where they made it legal to legally, I'm gonna say it the way it sounds, legally abort. Abort means to discontinue, right? Legally to abort your baby. They made it legal. Okay. So that means, check this out. So that means you, the woman, have the right, the single right, because they call that choice, right? They have the right to make a choice if we want to bring that baby into the world or if not. Now, the thing I have with this thing is, you know, historically, brothers been saying this, they don't have a right. Let's say if it's a good father or great father like yourself, and your lady, your queen, is pregnant, and she said, you know what, I don't want this one. You can't say a damn thing. You have to be Mr. Superfly himself to be inside her head to get her to roll your way. Because if you ain't Mr. Superfly yourself or great dad and she know you got the capital, she can say, hey, I don't want to bring another one in, and she don't need your okay. What do you think about that part? Let's just start right there.
You know, number one, it's going to be lopsided. It always has been. And when I say lopsided, please hear my heart, not my head, because, you know, I stand with a lot of men out here, and I've actually experienced this at some degree, you know, wanting to have a large family. And many of you guys that, or many of the folks that do know me know that I come from a huge family. I'm a father of seven, you know, and
your father, how many? It blinked out. Your father what?
I'm a father of seven myself.
Okay, go ahead, Black man.
And with the goal of rolling on up to 14, 15, 16, you know. And a lot of times when I share my personal testimony or story, I talk about how the wifey just couldn't keep up, you know. And on the serious tip, you know, her body just, I mean, and that's the truth. You know, her body just couldn't keep up. It got to a point to where we maxed out on the kids.
Okay.
All right. And I had to eat that, you know.
You trying to leave a legacy. I guess you still is. I mean, that is, your legacy is 6, right?
Yeah, 6 now, was 7. But at the time, you know, I thought about the unfairness, you know, from a different angle, you know, without her ability to continue to have us to continue to have children because of her. But I have counseled, I've sat down with, I've been across the table, I've been on the couch and in the pew with plenty of men who have talked about, you know, having the goal of becoming a father with the aspirations of being a great father, and the mother, whether they were married or not, you know, deciding not to go forth with the pregnancy. And listening to these young men pull out their hearts, or pour out their hearts in regards to having their dream shattered, there is some unfairness to it,
Right.
and it's really easy to get bitter behind that. And if there's a solution to that, I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, because it's been going on for quite some time now. As far as Roe v. Wade, I am by all means pro-choice. Okay. And to whatever degree, understanding, or definition that is, I believe that it is a woman's body. She has the right to
murder her baby,
to go through it. Yeah, that's basically okay. But what
I come with the words, bro. This is crazy, man.
But what is murder? Okay, the taking of a life.
Right. You better say it, man. Break it down. See, we go by definitions here, everybody, on this particular program. On any program you see, I'm not going to say anything that I don't understand the word to. And that's my oath to you and myself. But you are absolutely right. Let me take it there. Let's keep it right there real quick, man. So the lady, I mean, what's happening right now is that murder or is it not? You just hit it right on the head like the professional you are. You just said it's murder. I heard somebody arguing it's not murder until the baby can feel, think, and move. The metaphor was, or the guy questioned the guy. He said, wait a minute, what do you mean it's not murder until the baby can think, move, and feel, and all that sort of stuff? He says, what happens when, no, the guy was like, no, I mean, the child have to be able to think as we think, move the way we move, and stuff like that. He said, okay, let's just take it from a lady have a baby in 9 months, and then the 10th month, you see the baby right there. It's a 1 month baby. Is it okay to kill that baby because that baby ain't thinking like you? It ain't walking like you. It can't even control its own bowels. So that's what he was saying. What do you think about that?
Well, and I think that is where the personal philosophy and the beliefs come into play, as when does life start? The argument is that life starts in the womb, and I agree with that to an extent. But I have never, had to buy clothes and dress something in the womb. I've never had to, and I'm talking figuratively, okay? For me, my concept, where my brain, my thinking is, when it wraps into play for what we're talking about on the topic, is that life starts the moment that child is born, okay? That's when the right to life kicks in. That's when the life for health, or the right for health, kicks in. That's when we, even though parenting starts with the mom, and the support of the father, long before that, 8, 9, 10 months later or during. But for me, in my concept of life, does not begin until that child enters into this world. All right. That's when we are existentially responsible for their well-being, their needs, and all of that. And I've heard the other side of that. I've listened to, I've caught or bits and pieces of what's going on. I mean, I think it's a tragedy that, we've come to a point to where people disagree with that, but I understand them disagreeing. But if we're talking about Christian Judeo beliefs, okay, and a power struggle going on of people trying to be more right than just understanding, then we have a real challenge, and that's what we're facing right now. But as for me, answer your question in simplest forms, a child is not a child until that child comes to full term, is born into the world. And I can even back that up a little bit, after, let's say there's an emergency to where the child has to be, taken from the mother a little bit early.
A little bit early, okay.
Yeah, a little bit early, 8 months, 7 months, to where that child has a chance in the world, then that is life. And that's just Denny Wilson. That's
okay. Okay, you saying if it's long as it can sustain life successfully outside of the womb, even though it may need a little help, but sustain it and it can make it, You consider that like the professional Denny Wilson's opinion, right?
That's where I'm at with it, brother.
Okay. But it's still. You said that's when what do you call it? You said that is when a child is born. That's considered a child, yes?
Yes.
Okay. However, life begins when that energy flicks inside of the cipher. When your spermatozoa, brother, penetrates go through the fallopian end result, something got to be happening there, right?
Yeah.
So that's life, although to you that's not a child. That's not a full-blown child, but it's life.
Right.
So okay, so back to your original statement. It's okay with murder, though. But that's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
If it happens.
And you're talking to a Christian man, an elder of the church, but when it comes down to murder, and we can talk about that, and some of the precepts and concepts that are coming from the Word of God, people are forgetting, because we're so quick to throw a scripture on top of somebody. Not something, somebody, when they have a view like I do, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, what about those scriptures that we'll talk about where God went in and wiped out whole villages?
Come on, man.
What about those scriptures carried through or not? We gotta really take, number one, the word, number three, how they affect the world that's going on around you. And knowing that Roe versus Wade was put in place to protect a living person capable of action. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How many other implications come from stripping that right away? Number one, saying that they do not have a choice. Number two, and giving more rights to an unborn fetus, or giving more rights to an unborn fetus to use to murder or to take life.
I tell you what, can I interrupt for 1 second before I forget?
Absolutely.
Check this out. I believe that if, like, as it stands now in this extreme, you cannot get an abortion, particularly if you in this state that's on it. Because a lot of people don't know. They think you just can't get an abortion. Some states are fighting for the right to I get no, it ain't fighting for the right. Certain states are policing that. Some states you will, some states you won't. Sort of like the marijuana thing, okay? So if you got enough money, you can fly out to wherever the hell you need to go to the next state over. You can drive over. It ain't that bad. People drive to Daytona Beach to get naked on the damn beach. We go to Freaknik, you know what I'm saying? So if you're gonna do it for sport and play, I it ain't that bad. But let's just say if they can't nothing else into play, black man, guess what it brings into play?
What's that?
Oh, I'm sure your daughter gonna totally be second guessing, letting old boy come through shooting up the style.
It's going, yeah.
It's going to put a little more responsibility on that sister. It's the man's responsibility once he shoot up the club. Okay?
Yeah.
It's the man. No, man. It's too. You lay there and open it up. You know the man or whatever, and it's a high possibility. Okay, it's going to make the woman a little more selective. I do believe, and it's going to make the man too. Trust and believe, condom sales about to go up, bro.
Yeah, sure. And back dark market, after birth or after pregnancy are people, what you just spoke of, Brother Hiram, has been an issue of controversy for me. Historically, from my experience, we do take the heat, once something happens. Okay, once you say shoot up the club, I love that. But at the same time, through media, through movies, through everything, to kind of downplay the seriousness of sexual intercourse. All right. And I'm not going to go into sexual intercourse and all that other stuff. You know,
Right.
at the same time, when are we going to teach our sons and daughters to have those serious conversations, those hard conversations, when we are doing things that can? And that's a challenge that we've been struggling with for a very long time. Just the ability to have the courage to hold those and have those hard conversations. Importance of having those same conversations with the people that they are getting ready to open the club up to. So, you know, like this, and you know,
What's up, Danny? Hey, let me call you back in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna call you about 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Hold on for a second, brother. Okay. Go ahead, Denny. Go ahead, continue the conversation, man. I gotta take this call.
When you spoke
Go
of, or
ahead,
when
Danny. What you saying?
The necessity, it's going to happen
right,
no
man,
matter what.
Now, brother.
Yep. People are stepping up as of this past Friday, just 5 days ago, and be making what is necessary for that woman to continue to choose available. You know, I saw a video where a company, a large company, had stepped up, take care of our feels like it's necessary. We're going to make sure that they get to wherever they need to be. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and then yesterday I saw another video where a whole bunch of other large corporations, companies, employers followed suit. You know, personally, without my crystal ball in front of me, but through prayer, I can see this thing not lasting very long. Okay.
So about they might turn it over or something? Is that what you said?
I believe that, you know, there's going to be some exposure to the actual, and when I say that, we're talking about some people who claim those as just being just selfish in their own right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I tell you what, I do believe, in closing, because I'm going to let you get out of here, and I appreciate this. Hey, y'all, don't forget, you can give us a call at area code 330-937-2632 and everything. So at the end of the day, as it stands today, you'll be able to go somewhere else. It's going to be a little more harder for the less fortunate to get across the states or whatever, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, home teaching through and take care of them. They are worthy to treat themselves like treasure. Okay? All these things, man, is going to go into the redefinition on what a real woman, I hate to say it this way, what a real woman with morals and righteous morals, even godly, divine, ethical morals with her. Because women, women, like Kevin Samuel say, women have grants the access to sex. Men is the one that grants access to marriage. We actually marry, okay, but we can't just take the cookies. You feel me? Just like you can't take us in marriage. We have to ask you. Okay, so we just got to be responsible. And then even if it happens, you got to be even more responsible if you want an abortion now, because you got to put your money where your mouth is. Gas money to get to wherever the hell you got to go to get it to happen. And you know, gas is $5 a point. So where abortion was $400 in the first trimester or whatever the hell it was, add that $200 gas fee to it.
Right.
What you do?
People in general, especially our people, focus on whatever brings them peace. Okay. To lay their heads down at night and to not be ashamed or afraid to express where they are at in their thinking. You know, we travel this thing called the human experience, and through that we get our perceptions change, our beliefs change, our philosophies change over time as we're exposed to different things. Where you are right now is okay. You do not have to seek out anybody else's opinion. You have the great divine within you right now to where you can lay your head down at night at peace, knowing that either you are here and not somewhere else based upon what somebody else, a person of influence, is saying, including myself and the host of